Hey everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Okay. So I know I wasn't here last week. Maybe I was, but I don't think I was. Last week was a crazy week. And today is the day of the actual eclipse. Okay. So as you can see, my skin's clearing up. One of the things I can tell you, I think that has done it, I have been on veggies and fruit and just veggie, like no meat, for a week now. Actually, yeah, because we started. I didn't know it's not even a week yet. 5 to 7 days, 5 to 6 days. Like I'm right there, and that has been key to my life. It has been helping me. However, um, I just recently twisted all of my hair. I have to come here today to give some information that I haven't necessarily been holding back from giving, but just I think about it and then life happens, right? Okay. So, this is first. Soursop is awesome. It does what it's supposed to do. And Palo Azul, the kidney wood, that's even more awesome. Yeah. It does what it's supposed to do. Between that, the veggies, like, I'm just clearing up. Okay? So I want to come to say that. Next, I wanted to talk about responsibility in the spiritual streets. Okay? You want to be careful as a priest in the Orisha tradition or Abarisha or Leo coming into the Orisha traditions about using your energy to handle people that you feel have wronged you. You want to be careful about that because it doesn't do exactly what a lot of people think it does. Those people are in turn protected by your head Orisha until they come in. And they'll be driven there until they get there. It doesn't do what you think it does. Okay. Moving along. I also wanted to talk about this process of shame around financial issues and decisions that we sometimes make it so that it looks like life is beating us up, but we're not taking advantage of everything that we can take advantage of to make life better. Right now, I'm talking about social services. I'm talking about public services and stuff like that are available. When everybody was on an equal playing field, so to speak, everybody could plant, everybody could eat, everyone, different things like that around the world, it was just a totally different thing. Once money really entered the structure, at a high rate, it began to change. And a lot of people, the ability to be able to plant food was not necessarily respected. Foraging was not necessarily respected. It was becoming, where's your money? Where are your gold coins? And we have been in that frame of mind for a long time as humankind. And the free fall of the situation has been that people do not understand that they have more autonomy over their lives and that they don't have to stay stuck where they are for long periods of time, because there are things in place that allow you to be able to get up and walk away. But a lot of people are not doing that. If you understand what I'm saying, most people are staying in situations that are very toxic to their very being, which makes it so that they're at jobs, they're in situations with a mate. There's so many things that they continue to stay stuck in doing instead of understanding that it's a wound. Your life is in a wounded place. You're not happy, you feel stuck, and you must rupture it so that you can move on. And in order to move on, what you must do is use the things that are in place wherever you live to allow you to be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. Be that a person who's stuck in a relationship and needs to run because it's a violent situation. Be that staying at a job that you cannot stand, but it's bringing in all your money. And that is ultimately the downfall of people's souls because they feel extremely trapped. And because they feel trapped, the cycle of toxicity that is moving through the world is at an all-time high. Nobody feels good about staying where they don't want to be. If you want to move on and go somewhere else and live a different life, you need to understand you are free to get up and do so. And a lot of people, I can't do that. But what? You are a human being. Get up and go do what you want. We're no longer in this time period where we are holding on to old structures. And the people that are holding on to them are being shaken from them quickly. Because ultimately, they want to explore other things, they want to do other things, they want to have other experiences. And in having those other experiences, or at least wanting to, there is a great gap between the paycheck that you stand for and your happiness. There are so many different spiritual modalities out here, and this is a spiritual channel, so that's what I'm going to always talk about. I'm not going to just talk about the practical aspect of things, but there are practical things that need to be taken care of. So this is when you do reach out to the different services, resources that are available to you to hold you over until you get where you got to go. And you need to understand you are going to get there. I work with people a lot to help them get into jobs that they want to be in and to leave a job that they were in to go where they want to go. Okay? That's just it. I don't know why it's an expertise of mine. It's my specialty. Probably because as a single mom, I was just like, yo, there's got to be another way to be able to up the income. College was not an option for me at that time. I continued to go to college. I kept joining different universities and you name it. But finishing them with the constraints of getting a child out of daycare, getting to work on time, having enough gas in my human tank to be able to exist the next day and perform at the job, it just became something that was almost impossible to do, especially if I was relying on maybe a daycare, which daycare represented me getting there by a certain time, right? And maybe I couldn't get there by that time. Maybe the train was messing me up. Or if I had a family member that was helping me and different changes were happening and they just had to stop for whatever particular reason. Finishing then was not the option. The option was to turn around and look into this natural kingdom that we live amongst as human beings and figuring out how to get financial abundance from leaves. That became my specialty. When I'm here talking about baths, I'm telling you the truth about how they help change my life. A lot of people feel that, oh, that's just, it's not going to work. And because people say that, and they don't understand how powerful they are, it doesn't work. But when you understand that as a being outside of the parameters of being a human, which means just energy, spirit, etc., etc., you think it is. We have think delay it is. And because we have think delay it is, we get a lot of thoughts running through our mind. And because we get a lot of thoughts running through our mind, a lot of stuff appears in front of us that isn't necessarily what we really want or what we're really concentrating on. Right? Some of the stuff that I've seen coming up with in regards to Dr. Fred Allen with Dr. Joe Dispenza, Bashar, as far as saying that things disappear when you're gone, or that you're playing, we are God in many different forms, playing with itself, seeing how things work. And then itself decided to come up with Google. Because somebody said recently, and I love to listen to their channel, Juliet Cleary, I actually like to listen to her channel, where she talks about how the house disappears once you walk away from it, which was said by Doc. It's in the book, it's in the movie What the Bleep, right? That is said. But then the bigger part of self decided it disappeared until I took this picture and put it on Google Earth. Now everybody has it in its consciousness, it's still there, right? I know that seems a little far-fetched and off, but my point is there's so many concepts and everything out here that allow our thoughts to be able to create things very fast. It doesn't take that long. That is one thing I can calmly tell you. One year when I was just doing journaling all the time to bring things into existence, 1 month. 1 month. And that was back in like 2007, 2008. It's moving faster now. Weeks. Like that. To decide to keep yourself trapped in a place where you don't want to be, where you are not happy, and not understand that you can concentrate, that there's a way to know a different existence for yourself, and that it pops into, and you start living that. And when I say start living that, there's not a lot of time in between. Some things you're going to take with you. You're going to take coffee with you, so you don't have to change. If you're a tea drinker, you're going to take tea with you. You don't have to change that. If you're a person about shopping, you don't have to change that. You're going to take that with you. The thing is that if you want to bring in more financial abundance, which I swear is driving this entire planet crazy, because everybody thinks everything's about finance, and it is not. Abundance is different. It's a different rung, because a lot of things are abundant. We can be abundant through money. We can be abundant through health, be abundant through relationships. And those relationships can sometimes put us right in a place where we need to be to get what it is that we actually really do want. Well, what's everybody doing? I want the money in my checking account. Do you? It's going to get there if that's really what you want. But I say do you, because most of the time people don't concentrate on that. They say I want it, and then immediately right behind it, it's never going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen. And it's not even a conversation. It's literally in a disposition. It's in an attitude. Do you really feel that you are worthy of any of that? A lot of the times, human beings don't think that they're worthy of abundance. So therefore, they stay in toxic situations with the amount of abundance they feel is okay for them, and complain about it. So the more you focus on and complain, the more it is there for you every day, around the water cooler, at the lunch table, as you're packing your lunch the night before, or as you're making sure you have the money set aside to go to whatever little local eatery you want to go to every single day, and you sit and you talk with people that do nothing but sit and complain about the job. Now, I have seen something different happen at some companies where a whole table was a group of people that decided that they were moving up and they were moving on out, okay, out of whatever department. And then there was a whole group of people that would get together. I had been invited to these things, so I do know what I'm talking about at different places. A whole nother group of people that got together to do nothing but complain about their managers and their coworkers. And every week, let me tell you, that tea was piping hot. Because as it is, if we focus on it, it's going to continue to be. She came in today. She didn't offer me a donut. It was supposed to be for everybody. Or I got the email. It didn't say what it was supposed to say. And she said she sent it. I don't have it. Every week it is piping hot tea because that's all they concentrate on. Or every day at lunch. Not just every week, every day. Look at what you're using your mind for. And one of the things I think that really blows my mind with this, a lot of people miss the whole juggernaut of abundance because all they do is sit and complain. When you take a walk by yourself, just by yourself, and decide, I'm going to be grateful for every single thing I can be grateful for on this walk, I promise you the rest of your day will be different, let alone the rest of your week. But can you get away from the person that comes in? I have seen this person on the train. Oh my God, I don't want to go there. Like, my mom drove me here and she made sure I had the gas and I gave her the rent and everything. But you know what? It's like really getting on my nerves. And every single week that is the conversation. On a train, headed into work, I remember this person. Right? But then I also remember when I was going after a goal, I had to find a way. I got so many strange pictures on my phone. Pictures of turkeys, wild turkeys. There's one I recently put up on social media, and they're in this area. Pictures of all kinds of flowers, pictures of all kinds of rivers, pictures of rocks, or sometimes I'm just walking and talking and being grateful for whatever it is I'm seeing from coming home from the train station. Or I'm journaling as I'm on the bus or as I'm on the train, right? I remember one time I wanted to get a car. I wanted a car real bad, right? And I was journaling about this daggone car. I was journaling about the flows, you name it. Every nook and cranny of that car I was into. Okay, and I didn't know what the car was going to be, but I was into every nook and cranny of it. And then when I got the car, the availability that I had to be able to manifest via journaling was kind of taken from me because I was driving everywhere. So that timing, while it was collapsed and the abundance had happened, and I got the car, and I'm gonna tell you, I got the car in the most manifesty witchy way I could possibly have gotten it in. I did not get this car via the regular ways. I just didn't. I was journaling, and I was going to get this car just before Christmas. But I remember I'm single parent. My daughter had just had a baby, so my life was becoming extremely challenging at that time. And I was like, if I get this car right now, we're not going to have no gifts. I'm not going to have no food for the holidays. That is not the experience I was journaling for. So I just let it go. I was like, I ain't thinking about it. And I remember I came home and my daughter said to me, so, Mom, what about the car? Are you going to get the car? Are you going to get the car? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get the car, but I'm not stressing about that. It'll happen when it's meant to happen. 2 days later, I get this flyer in the mail. Literally, just get a flyer in the mail, something I normally would have thrown out. But I decided to call this dealership this day. I call, well, we can meet you at the train station. They meet me at the train station. That night, I drove my car home. I had stopped looking a month ahead of that. I got that car maybe a month and a half. I got it maybe late January, early February. And then I had to have more money in my account for something that was coming out. And I remember I went to, because the amount of abundance that was building around me with all the journaling for what I wanted to receive, right? Um, was building around me. So it wasn't just for the car. There was so much coming in at that time. But I saw it as literally the car. Now, this is a good 15 years ago, 14, 15 years ago, right? But nonetheless, I had been journaling, just everything I could think of. And I keep my journal. So I know about the vibe that I get into when I'm getting ready to hit something, right? I had completely stopped. I was sick and tired of journaling. I didn't feel like doing any more journaling, right? And I didn't feel like going to any more, I didn't feel like talking to any more salesmen, used car salesmen. New. I didn't want to talk to anybody anymore. I was like, when it happens, it happens. I'm sick and tired of this. I just got sick and tired of it. And I let it go. But my energy abundance quotient was built all the way up because I had been really working on it. So I get the car. Like I said, right after that, I had to have money in the bank for the car. And so tax season is then, and I go to my accountant. He's just like, well, everything's coming back in about three weeks. I said, no, mine will be back next week. He said, well, I don't know. I said, it'll be back next week. I went there, did my thing, left. It was back. Not, it was literally within the next week. It was there days. I went on Saturday. My money was there Thursday. Everything came out and did what it needed to do. My point to you is that you have a lot more power over what you speak out of your mouth and what you decide is going to be yours. And it's like when you decide, like, I'm going to go here, I'll have the right amount of money for it. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to have it. And you had that one person that creeps up, I don't know, because last week I missed this sale, and you just completely excuse them. Like, you're not going to pay them no mind whatsoever. So you don't pay them any mind. You go in and it's what you said it was going to be. Life is like that all the time. It's not a fluke. And that is what we need to recognize as humanity. Life is always abundant. And when you can step fully into a current that is moving so fast about abundance, you will realize you're always living in a perpetual state of blessings, of having what you want, of speaking it out your mouth, and therefore it is. That is how life is. I came here to deliver that message. Do not hold yourself in a situation thinking, I can't do any better. First off, change. You can do better. Start saying it. Because we come from being beings of think and it is, to think delay and it is. So change your thoughts. Number 2, ignore people that are normally rattling on about stuff they don't know what they're talking about. Number 3, go after it. Get up and go after it like you're getting ready to go make a sandwich. Go get it. Like Mary says, go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it because it's yours. Nobody can hold you back from anything. And when you determine that you are not to be held back from your blessings, not just blessings, the things that are supposed to be yours, because you are supposed to be abundant at all times, you will be. It's been my message today. I'm out. I'll be back another time. Peace.